Gordon, okay, you know what? Usually, a lot of times, Gordon, here we are, Tuesdays with Gordon. Gordon, usually we have a clock right here that says 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it looks like our YouTube is already recording, our LinkedIn is recording. Guys, welcome everyone to Tuesdays with Gordon. Gordon, we've had a rough start. It is daylight savings time, and I always will get thrown off the first time there's daylight savings time. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Yes, we had some technical hitches. And
Oh,
does that mean that spring is on us? Or spring is
hey,
on you?
it's very warm. It is very warm here in Chicago. It's about 60 degrees Fahrenheit here, and it's now it'll drop back down to about 40, but it's been pretty good so far here the last couple of days.
Nice. Mm. So,
Yeah,
but you still need a hoodie, I see.
yeah. It'll probably drop down a little bit later on today. And what's the weather like over in Singapore today?
So whenever Chinese New Year is over, and I observe that it usually starts to get hot and humid. So there's still nice cool breeze going on, but it's getting hot and humid.
Yeah. Is everything in Singapore back to normal?
What do you mean by back to normal? Okay, so Chinese New Year this year was just 2 days because it was in the middle of the week, and so kind of most things were back to normal in the next week. So we have been having back to normal for almost 2 weeks already, and I think last week we talked about the 15th day of Chinese New Year,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's it. Yeah, so I didn't know that. I don't know if you know this, but the 15th day of Chinese New Year is also a de facto Valentine's Day for Chinese.
Okay. Okay, so let me ask you a quick question because this I know American Valentine's Day. What is the de facto Valentine's Day in Chinese?
Yeah, like I said, so the 15th day of Chinese New Year often is also a period where couples go out together and stuff like that. So it's a bit of a Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Yeah, Gordon, what did you end up doing?
So in the past, we used to have a family gathering, but this year, my son, who's married, decided to do his gathering with his wife's side. My daughter's dating, decided to visit the boyfriend's um, family, and so that left my wife and I, and so we decided to go out for a romantic dinner.
Yeah. Very good. And if you don't mind me asking, what restaurant did you end up going? What type of food did you guys end up
Oh,
eating
we
in
had a
Singapore?
steak. We had a steak,
Very
and it's
good.
the steakhouse has is kind of like my namesake, so it was called Gone Grill.
Very good. Yeah. And Gordon, one more question on food. Are you a medium rare, medium, or how do you like yours cooked?
I like mine pink. That's always what I tell the waiters because in Singapore the standard kind of varies quite a bit. And when you say medium, some come out a little overcooked, some come out a bit too rare, and so usually I
Yeah.
tell them I want pink.
I do like it pink. Gordon, there is nothing worse. I do not know when people will like it well done. How in the world do you eat a steak that's well done?
No, 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 not for me. Yeah, it's just not for me.
Yeah. Well, hey, today a lot of times I know we probably won't be able to record next week, so I want to be able to talk a little bit about trust, building trust on your team. Like when you worked at JP Morgan, how did you build trust on your team?
Wow, I actually never thought about it, and I think it felt very intuitive to build trust. But I do know that after having left the banking sector and spent more time doing counseling, I realized that trust is something that's rather more tangible than we think. In other words, there's something you can do about it. Yeah. So, and then I also discovered something called the trust equation. So there we go.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you a quick question. What is a trust equation?
I think it's got a little one of the consultants put it together. Or trustworthiness equals, I think, credibility times reliability times I think openness divided by self orientation. So if you think about it, four factors or three factors that are important to trust is first the credibility, so competence. Second, the reliability, which is your how you keep up
Yeah.
people can rely on you. And then openness developed by self orientation. I think it's more kind of like authenticity, being caring and kind, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Like when you were on the team, whether you led a team or a part of the team, did you do things, games like trust falls? Did you do activities or did you approach it a different way? Or how did you see trust being built in your teams that you were in?
Actually, when we were working, we just didn't have time other than during offsites. But we didn't have time to think about that. So it's a lot about getting work done, and so I believe that a lot of trust was developed over collaboration. Trust was developed over doing things together, and
Yeah.
so that's why I thought that the reliability and competency factors were quite important.
Yeah. The reason I asked that is I think a lot of times with teams, they say, okay, we're going to have team bonding time. We're going to do a team activity. We're going to go for a team retreat. I would probably say those have never worked. Now, granted, a lot of times you have to spend time with team to really develop relationships. But I think a lot of times how I build trust within my team is my word, what I say versus what I do has to be consistent. I'm not going to say, hey,
Yes.
Gordon, you're doing a great job. And later on, I go back and says, that Gordon is doing a terrible job. That doesn't build trust. A lot of times
Yes.
is I'm not saying, hey, Gordon, a lot of times I trust you, and then yet at the same time do something else that shows that I don't trust. So what you see is what I get. And then if there are issues between me and you, I'm gonna sit there and say, Gordon, let's talk through some of these issues. And I think when I do that, there's consistency shows that I'm building trust.
Yes, yes, and duplicity definitely destroys trust, and just as you described. Also, I think one of the things that really do build trust is the fact that people deliver what they promise, and not and they play their role. So I think that's important.
Yeah. And also a lot of times I think it builds trust is when you do mess up, which a lot of times you fall short, you sit there and you say, hey, look, I own it. Here's what went wrong. Here's what we didn't anticipate. And here's what we're going to do better to do this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, however, having now that you talk about it, I think about it, and I'm going like, well, not everyone knows how to do these things. We think it's supposed to be natural. It's supposed to come to you naturally to build trust. But sometimes we either our organizational skills are poor, or we have certain baggages which we distrust people, or perhaps we have certain mental attitudes that kind
Yeah.
of makes it a bit of a roadblock for some people to build trust with others.
Yeah. For instance, Gordon, here's a good example. This past weekend, I hosted a speaker in Chicago, and so he did an event for me on Saturday morning, and he did an event for me on Sunday and also Sunday morning. Now, at the same time, someone did ask me, "Do you feel pressure when a speaker comes and you're hosting? Do you ever feel pressure with these events?" And I said to him, "Yes, I feel tons of pressure. Why? Because the people are trusting me that I'm going to bring in someone good so that you are taking a Saturday morning and a Sunday to team. Now, over a period of time, you trust me one time. If you come to it and says, this is a terrible event. This was a waste of my time. What's going to happen? You won't trust me in the future. So in some sense, actually, I have to have the confidence and the competence and also the organization to make sure it's a good product for you to have trust in me.
Yeah, absolutely. So what you just touched on three very important things when you asked me. Those were the three things that came to my mind about how do you build trust. That competence, the ability to deliver, and then the fact that people can rely on you. And then yes, yes, maybe there's a need for some skills in terms of execution.
Yeah. Hey, a couple things this article talks about in terms of building trust. Yeah, I'm going to go through it and let you and I talk through some of them. The first one is don't leave collaboration to chance. What does that mean?
Well, as I think about collaboration means people come together and kind of do work together. Now, all of us, I think we all realize, have different styles of doing things, and perhaps we even have different ways of communicating. And so I think we need to be kind of at least have a kind of level playing field by being on the same page.
Yeah. Wouldn't you say, Gordon, here's a good example. As soon as you said that, I start thinking soccer, right?
Mhm.
Soccer, football, baseball, all of those things. What do they always do during practice? They do drills.
Mhm. Mhm.
Why? They're not leaving collaboration a chance. They're practicing the routines of dribbling, passing, strategy, all those things. Practice game scenarios because what? You're not taking a chance that you're going to sit there and anticipate what each other are doing during that period of time.
Yes, and as I think about that, obviously the first time you collaborate, this group collaborates together, it kind of gets a bit rough on the edge, and but the more you do this, then the more practice the team becomes, and things became to
Yeah.
be to move on smoothly, and really that's important.
Yeah. Like for instance, even you and I, how many years have we been doing this now? 5 years? If you think about it, first year, we're not leaving collaboration to chance. We had to figure each other out. Okay, when does Gordon speak? When do I speak? What parts do you like speaking? When do I anticipate? You had to get that rhythm. 5 years later, we could kind of play off each other, but it took about 5 years to figure that out.
Well, not that long, I suppose. But it's true. Whenever I speak to you on Tuesdays, that's for me. I don't really need to prepare that much because I kind of gotten the idea of how we're gonna do this.
Yeah, yeah. Now, initially, probably when you first started, you probably had to prepare some to anticipate how to work through it. But now you just get jumped on, you look at this article, and we start talking.
Yes, and so that's why people sometimes take it for granted that it's just collaboration. Let's do it, leave it to chance. But actually, we needed a
Yeah.
lot of practice before this.
Yeah. The second one is build a culture that keeps everyone in the loop. Simple standard, but talk to me about that one.
Yeah, so I think, alluding to this because sometimes when we collaborate, we think about one something and we feel like everyone should know this. We take for granted that people think the same way as us or have the same issue or have the same organizational points as us. So we just take it for granted and not communicate it. But I think as we work together, it's important to build a culture where we kind of inform each other. Hey, this is what I'm thinking, or this is what I intend to do. What are you doing, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and a lot of times tangible ways you could do this. Some people a lot of times they'll get the team together for about 15 minutes, a standing room only. Some people would send an email summary of these are the day's activities at the end of the day. And so, however you do things these days with WhatsApp, you sit there and send a summary, or you do things like Slack or all of those things. You find ways that the team knows exactly what you're doing. Now, you got to find ways in which the team responds. And like if I send you on Facebook Messenger, Gordon, you're not going to respond to Facebook Messenger. So I got to find something which our
I'm
team
not there.
shares. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's important to share information, share relevant information, actually, more importantly. But I also think about this situation where I have encountered people who have this need to do one-upmanships. They try to be a bit of a hero or a little prima donna thing, and that destroys trust, and that really makes collaboration difficult.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Totally, totally, totally. The key thing is a lot of times is the communication is not to brag what you've done, but just to make sure that everyone knows on the same page where you're going with things.
Yeah, so I would have a problem with a prima donna or someone who's trying to do one-upmanships because when we succeed as a team, it's likely that this person start claiming credit.
Yeah, yeah. Which goes is share credit. Talk to me about that one.
Oh, right. So I think it's important, especially if you're the lead of that team, to demonstrate and practice sharing credit and not just take everything for yourself, because then you encourage that me first kind of culture.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think a lot of times sharing credit. Look, if you just constantly are giving credit, especially in the business world, you people are going to look at you and says, "Okay, what are you doing?" So you have to be able to inform people what you're also. But
Mhm.
share credit with nobody on the team likes it when they've done the work, but you're taking on the credit, especially if you're a team leader.
Yeah, in fact, I just recently had a little coaching experience where someone's kind of like asked, what do I do to protect myself from someone who's always stealing credit from me, especially that person makes me do all the work and takes all the credit.
Yeah, yeah. And now, Gordon, what did you say?
I said that someone actually felt that I keep doing the work, but my boss keeps taking the credit, and so I feel really shortchanged actually.
Yeah. Is there like what advice did you give that person?
Oh, so I said, it's difficult, and really, what's important is to kind of like gently say, "Oh, okay, well, actually, I didn't say that. What I did say was, I said, okay, in that case, you need to really be more visible when you're doing work, and so that other people can start recognizing your contribution to it. It's very difficult to go kind of like shove the boss away and say, no, I did it, so but I think just being visible when you work and to perform the duties, I think that's one way of
Yeah.
trying to uh, yeah, get some attention, I suppose.
Yeah. Gordon, one of the ways I found it was the best for me, where I remember building cell towers. I had a boss who would take all the credit. She always took all the credit. So then I started sending Tommy Lee's daily updates, CC my boss and letting you know, hey, just wanted to let you know to my boss, here are the things I did. And I CC some of the key things because I needed to know, everyone else needed to know exactly what I was doing because she had a habit of taking credit for everything that was going well.
Yeah, so I think that's the easiest way, and the most direct way of kind of stepping into or sharing that limelight.
Yeah, yeah. Because a lot of times I would probably say is I look, the boss takes credit for the team. That's up to you if you want to do it. But if you're constantly doing it, then I have to show you or share with everyone what I'm doing. Because the worst thing I can't stand is the bosses who take credit, but when things go bad, they blame me. I cannot stand.
Yeah, so that's what I was just thinking about, because some bosses or some people, maybe not even just bosses, actually grabs the credit, but kind of puts the blame on other people, and
Yeah.
I think that's really bad.
Yeah, yeah. Gordon, if there is one thing that has built me trust within my team, I will proactively talk about this. And I would say the team, the one thing you'll never catch me doing, I will never take credit for your work. In fact, it's so important for me to share about your work because we do this as a team. But when there's problems and there's mistakes, I will own it. Now, if it's carelessness, you and I are going to have an issue with that and we're going to have a
Mhm.
talk. But it's my team. I will take the hits. If it's wrong, I will take care of it. But I need you to do your job.
Yeah, and I think it's the same thing about how do you do things like execution methods, and so when we talk about execution methods and do how we do things, uh, they're bound to be disagreements because we all do things differently, and so I think it's important that if the team is able to talk about it openly, that's best. But sometimes we meet people who find it very who are very sensitive to disagreements, and so I think maybe addressing one on one might be a good start, actually.
I think a lot of times people, and we'll go to the last one, don't shy away from disagreements. Some people just don't know how to disagree. So you've got
Hmm.
to create a safe zone for them to learn how to disagree. But when they disagree, do not sit there and say and defend it. Help understand, say, ask probing questions. Help me understand, what did you see? Where'd you go? That makes a very good point. Why are you seeing it this way? Which allows the team to really be able to say, hey, look, when they say they want me to give my opinions, I actually trust that they're going to give my opinions.
Agree. And Tommy, I think that brings us back to exactly where we started, which is you asked me, how do we develop trust? And I said, I really don't know. But now as we discuss this, I really think that, yeah, we sometimes do need to be trained or learn some skills of how to develop trust, such as how to disagree. How do we promote a culture where collaboration becomes really a part of day in the life of everyone,
Yeah. But the disagreement, which goes also into the second part of the tips, is sometimes as the team leader, we want to be nice. We think it means being nice. A lot of times is disagreement means that you have to be able to be honest with each other about what's going on. So you may have to disagree with some of those things.
Agree. And not only that, you shouldn't be always nice. Nice, good to be nice, but not always, because there are times when you need to be difficult or actually firm. And I think it's also important that we need to admit our mistakes, and so we shouldn't be just getting our way all the time.
Yes, it doesn't mean you get your way, or a lot of times that means it's okay if it's not your idea. It's
Mm,
okay if you didn't drive it. It's okay if someone else's idea. We think as a leader, we should have all the ideas. No, you create that team by allowing people that voice in it.
yeah. So I think it's important to learn about such things as we become leaders and managers.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Gordon, any last thoughts as we talk about building team?
No, I think I like this. I like this topic, and I'm just wondering whether the next time we record, maybe not next week or the week after, perhaps we can continue with this team.
Yeah, let's do that because hey, look, I didn't realize it that I sent you 12 pages for this article here, Gordon.
Actually, 12 different articles. So there we go. We've got lots to talk
Yeah.
about.
Tuesdays with Gordon. What are you up to today?
Oh yeah, it's an interesting day. I'm going out to lunch with some of my counseling friends, so I look forward to some chit chats. My wife's coming back from a Shanghai trip, so I'm gonna pick her around dinner time.
Good, 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 good. Well, hey, enjoy your day. We'll talk in a couple weeks, okay?
Yep, that's talk in a couple of weeks.
Talk soon. Bye bye.
See you.